What's up, everyone? Today, Chef Daddy Lau is going to teach us how to make steamed eggs, Chinese style. Learning how to cook steamed eggs is deceptively simple. We basically only need eggs and water, but we need to pay attention to the finer details to get the silky, creamy texture just right. This steamed egg recipe that we'll be learning is like a canvas, which you can then use later to get creative with other ingredients like shrimp, minced pork, and etc. When we were kids, my parents used to make this all the time for me and my sister. To this day, I'm still transported back to the comfort I felt as a child every time I bite into my dad's heavenly, silky steamed eggs. Teaching us how to make this delicious steamed egg recipe will be my dad, who's been cooking Chinese food for over 50 years, and who happens to be playing the flute that you're listening to right now. Also, stay tuned at the end to eat with us and learn more about the dish and Chinese culture. Check out our blog post for a printable, adjustable list of ingredients, as well as step-by-step videos and instructions on how to make this dish. Hope you guys enjoy!
講蒸蛋就好簡單嘅啫，只要睇你俾水嘅份量同埋蒸個時間，咁蒸出嚟個蛋呢，佢就好滑。而家就首先切啲葱嘅先，蒸好之後呢，就擺喺面上嘅，好簡單。啲葱呢，睇落去靚啲，同埋有啲葱嘅香味喺度。
Next, we'll start heating up our wok. For this step, you'll need a steamer rack and a lid for your wok. Place the steamer rack in the wok and a bowl on top of the steamer rack. Pour enough water so that the outside of the bowl is about halfway submerged in water. Ideally, the diameter of the bowl is small enough so that it gives you clearance to remove it from the wok later. Set the stove to high heat to start boiling the water. Take the bowl out and cover the wok with a lid.
我而家呢，整4隻蛋，首先呢，將啲蛋打好先。蒸一隻蛋嘅呢，就俾半級水。我而家蒸4隻蛋呢，大概係俾2級水。同埋有時呢，睇下啲蛋嘅大細又分開。如果中等嘅呢，或者啲蛋係可以俾正常呢，就半級水就 OK 㗎啦。
Before we start mixing the eggs, we'll add a half tablespoon of salt, a half tablespoon of chicken powder, and a half tablespoon of oil.
首先呢，拍好蛋先。蒸蛋嘅最緊要呢，就將啲蛋發到佢勻勻。仲有一樣嘢呢，再加半級水落去，咁發起啲蛋呢就容易化啲啦。蒸蛋嘅一個竅門呢，就俾暖嘅滾水蒸，咁整起嚟嘅蛋呢，佢就會好滑啦。
The temperature of the water significantly affects the final texture of the egg. When my dad refers to warm, he means water that's anywhere from 35 to 45 degrees Celsius and 95 to 113 degrees Fahrenheit. The easiest way to get within this range is to microwave 2 cups of water for about 45 to 60 seconds.
發蛋呢，發到佢起泡為止。頭先呢，發蛋嗰時係俾咗半級嘅水落去，我而家呢，就再俾級半水，即係2級水，2級水整4隻蛋啊！再發勻佢，好啦，搞掂晒啦呢度，掀開佢。一定蒸蛋嘅時候呢，一定要滾啲水先至擺啲蛋落去。我而家呢，就擺啲碟落去，再倒啲蛋落去。另外一個問題呢，嗰個碟下邊啲熱水浸到個碟1/3咁上下，咁佢就快脆啦。睇到而家我倒過落去啦，蛋就擺咗落去啦，冚翻個蓋。
After you cover the wok, keep the stove on high heat until the water is boiling. Watch carefully, as this could take anywhere from 1 to 4 minutes. Once it's boiling, turn the heat to a low simmer and cook for an additional 8 minutes. If you're using a metal plate, like my dad sometimes uses for better heat transfer, you can turn the heat completely off for the remaining cook time.
睇到嘛？喐下佢中間唔喐就熟㗎啦，差唔多啦，2-3分鐘就得㗎啦。蒸咗10分鐘隻蛋，而家就熟咗啦。熟咗之後呢，俾啲葱上去，俾啲胡椒粉滲上個面就更加好食啦。有啲人呢，就用胡椒粉一齊咁撈，咁都得。但係我就中意蒸好之後呢，滲啲胡椒粉上個面上，蛋就蒸好啦。而家拎佢出嚟，個聲，哇，好辣啊！
My dad's hands are hardened from his decades in restaurants, but for me, I would recommend wearing oven mitts to remove the dish.
滑蛋就蒸好啦，可以食得。
Okay, let's eat. Let's eat.
Okay.
Yay.
哇，係啊，係咪靚啊？
Good.
唔黐底嘅喎仔，知唔知啊？
Did you guys put white pepper on top?
Yeah.
Nice and
Yeah.
smooth. There's no bubbles. Looks nice and
Yeah, it's very smooth.
yeah.
The texture like a yogurt.
Yeah. I like it like a almond jello. Like you.
Cheers! Cheers!
Cheers, Cam.
Cheers!
It's good.
Steamed eggs is very easy to make. We made this a lot, especially since the children was very
係
little.
咪好嫩滑啊？
Yeah.
Yeah.
嗯。
You don't have to chew, you just put in the mouth and swallow.
So good.
He eat 2 months old. He want to eat some.
Cam, you want some?
Yeah,
you want some?
yeah, you want some eggs?
You can't have it yet.
Yes.
You can't have it yet.
I know.
Same color as your milk.
Same.
Yeah.
Babies start getting solid.
6 months.
6 months. This is really bad solid.
Yeah.
I think that steamed can try.
Yeah. I think yeah.
And so soft.
Yeah. You can't choke on this.
No.
Oh.
Look at
Oh. Oh yo yo.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning,
Hi, did you have a good
baby.
meal?
Yeah. Yeah. Let grandma eat.
Whoa.
Hello.
He only take 1 ounce. Oh, not even 1 ounce.
影三公有
叫佢哋有，叫佢咪整咯。
睇個 menu 啊？
個 menu 冇嘅。
In China, did you have your own chicken that you get eggs from?
Oh, in the old days.
Yeah.
In the village, the chicken go out in the morning, come home at night time, in the evening time. But in the city, we only put the chicken in cage.
Yeah.
Every morning, the female lay the egg, so we
Yeah.
can get the egg.
Nice.
That's the nice thing we don't have to buy.
一個月係30蛋。
唔一定抽住蛋啊，有時冇㗎，佢就要將啲蛋嚟煲雞仔啦。
When the whole bunch of egg inside, the mother will stay on top the egg, and then open the wing,
Yeah.
and then cover the whole egg.
Yeah.
Maybe he did this for 21 days.
Yeah.
Then
Just sit there
the
for
small
21
chicken
days?
will breathe the shell,
Yeah.
and then the baby chicken will comes out
Yeah.
a lot. It's really, really cute.
Cute.
So good, Cam.
Yeah.
Like our baby Cam.
Only 21 days to make a baby cam.
咁你喺鄉下住幾耐？
好少嘅，10幾歲就好少喺鄉下㗎啦。
Yeah.
所以我12、13歲識煮飯㗎啦。我媽咪我12歲、13歲就去咗香港㗎啦。
When you went to
同你
China?
姑姐、同你姑姑去咗香港㗎啦。就係我同你大伯、二伯，咁我識煮飯㗎啦。嗰時我識煮飯。
咁大話200先識煮飯。
You want more milk?
More
I'll let
milk.
grandma feed you, okay?
仲話咩？阿大伯喺台上咧，都一路跟住我嗰啲媽，我幾隻我煮飯，佢唔使佢煮。
咁你幾時
Cam say hi.
可以自己喺餐館煮啊？
嚟咗美國啦，
邊個教你煮啊？
我已經本身就喺廣州學過啦嘛。
Oh, in China cooking school.
How many years did you go to cooking school?
唔使學幾年㗎，再學 cooking 幾個月就得㗎
2
啦。
months only.
但係嗰度學嗰啲咧嚟到美國唔啱嘅，
唔啱。
Oh.
慢，喺呢度要快。
啊，
呢條真要快。
Hmm.
喺 China 做嗰啲咧，慢慢俾個時間。喺呢度唔係啊，呢度燒紅有一個可打，又一個可打。而家知道蒸蛋講成點樣未啊？啲水咧一定要暖嘅，
軟 is room temperature。
More. Maybe 暖水啊？
暖嘅滾水。
How do people mess it up?
Ooh.
What are common ways that people mess it up?
I don't use warm water. 我蒸蛋從來都用凍水嘅，因為你如果暖水咧，好 confuse 啲 people 啊。
所以你蒸啲蛋唔好食咯。
哎呀 ，Jennifer 話我啲蛋非常之好食。
哎 Jennifer 佢話你好食蒸得佢 Jennifer 蒸蛋佢要蒸得好老，佢就係拋嘅。你家姐蒸蛋就咁啦，蒸得好老。但係佢食呢啲佢又好食。
你唔中意家姐嘅蛋？
我唔中意食嗰啲蛋，佢係中意咁食，我就咁煮俾佢食，蒸俾佢食。
你
你想佢硬啲啦，俾少啲水。 你可以係4隻蛋俾吸半水，咁咪硬啲咯。我而家就係4隻蛋俾2吸水啊嘛。你想佢硬啲，咪少啲水得啦。
Can't you like the steamed egg?
Kim Kim
I
sleeping.
love steamed egg. I'm gonna make it for my mommy, daddy.
Yeah, I will make that for my breakfast.
Thank you, Kim
Yeah.
Kim.
Thanks, Kim. That's so nice.
Yeah, Kim, say goodbye.
Okay.
Say goodbye. Oh, okay.
He doesn't want them to go.
Aw.
Watch our next video.
Okay.
Watch our next video.
Hopefully you like our video. Yeah, like our video, subscribe our video. Kim Kim say bye.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Why didn't you subscribe?
Okay, Kim Kim.
Why didn't you
Okay.
subscribe?
Okay, Kim Kim. Yeah.